Hey guys, hey Q the brand, thanks for joining on a Saturday afternoon. Peter Shankman, thanks for joining as well. I wanted to have a quick scope on a couple of topics, two things. One is all these so-called experts that you see out there on Snapchat and on Periscope especially as well, about having run businesses and giving you business advice and personal advice, etc., on how to be an entrepreneur. And then also I want to talk about Snapchat and what I'm seeing happening there and why it's a platform that everybody should kind of participate in and start playing around with, especially from a branding standpoint. Before I get into it, let me just say who I am, give a brief description on what I'm doing. My name is DJ Valori, if you don't know me, and I actually am an entrepreneur. I started a company 15 years ago that's now a multi-million-dollar company, a digital marketing agency within the hospitality industry. And I'm not here to sell anything. I'm not here to promote any books or anything like that, any webinars. I'm here just to give you some real talk on experiences and things that I've done throughout the years and mistakes I've made so that you don't make the same mistakes, right? So one of the things that I continually see on Periscope, on Twitter, on Snapchat, especially on Snapchat now, are these so-called experts about business, right? They're out giving you advice on business and what you need to do to run your business and the hustle and all that stuff. And the hustle, right, is overrated, and we know everybody uses that. And if you're an entrepreneur, you are hustling, right? Especially if you're a successful one. So I think that's a given. But the thing is, a lot of people are giving advice on these platforms and they haven't accomplished anything, right? They're like 25 years old and know nothing about the age or anything, but I mean, give me a break. What have you really accomplished from a business standpoint? What have you built from a business standpoint? How many people are you employing? How did you start your business? Talk about real life stories other than just giving anecdotal information to people. And while it may be motivating to some, I would just say, listen to what these people are saying with a grain of salt, because they really have no actual experience on the stuff they're talking about, right? So I'd like to come from experiences that I've developed. It can be dangerous. I've always said that, absolutely. They can give you the wrong advice, right? So I'd like to come from, just real life experiences that I've actually had throughout the years in building this company. We have over 50 people now, and we're a global company, and we made a lot of mistakes along the way, don't get me wrong, but that's how you learn, right? And everybody says that it's great to fail because you learn. They're learning opportunities. So that's point number one is just be careful of what people are telling you on these scopes, because they call themselves so-called experts, and they're really not. They really haven't accomplished anything. They're regurgitating what they hear Grant Cardone or Peter Shankman, who's a real guy. I really love following him and part of his Shank Minds group. Definitely follow him if you can. And Gary Vaynerchuk too. Some of his stuff is off the wall, but he's got some good stuff that you want to you can pick up on. These are people that have accomplished things, right? That have things to share and stories to tell on things they've actually done, not stuff that they're just picking up from other people and regurgitating and they have no experience. So enough said with that. Just be careful on what people are telling you on these scopes and on Snapchat especially. I want to talk about, I'm about to go into our little studio here at the office to film the next episode of the Ask DJV shows. And I did get that idea, obviously, from Gary Vee, who started that, a couple of years ago. My focus is really in the hospitality industry, right? So on the Ask DJV show, we're going to talk about Snapchat and what I like about Snapchat as a marketing platform for 2016 and 17. We've heard, I'm seeing the statistics that Snapchat is aging up now. It's no longer about, 16-year-old, teenagers just putting pictures up and videos. It's really becoming a platform to tell your story. I think it's one of the greatest storytelling platforms out there. And unlike Facebook and Twitter, Snapchat enables you to get 100% of what they call, I guess, screen share or screen views, screen time, right? Well, on a Twitter feed or on a Facebook stream, you really don't know who viewed your information. It just goes by so quickly. And if you're not paying on Facebook, chances are your organic posts will never be seen. So with Snapchat, it still hasn't been ruined by marketers yet. So I think there are a couple of years before that happens, and maybe sooner than that. But from a storytelling standpoint, it's really a great medium because you know exactly who has actually viewed your story and your snaps. It comes up in the Snapchat account there, and it also enables you to put fresh content out there and make sure that people are actually viewing it. Right, you've got 100% attention when they're actually viewing it, and there's a fear of missing out, I think, component to it as well, where people really just have to kind of see what your latest Snapchat story is about. So I enjoy it. I enjoy, watching the other, people I follow, like Q the Brand. I follow her on there. I will follow, a couple of other folks on there too. Greg Weiss also has some great snaps, keeps it interesting. Adele, certainly from Australia, she's got some cool snaps also. And the thing is, I'm not going to spend a lot of time snapping myself because I've got a business to run and I play around in all these different platforms just to understand them so that I can share with my team what we should be doing in the direction we're heading in as it relates to social media, because that's one of the aspects that we bring to the table, one of the disciplines that we bring to the table for hotels. So the aging up really is interesting. The technology certainly is interesting for storytelling. I think it's the best platform for storytelling at this point out there. The thing that's really difficult is building. You're a French millionaire. Okay, that's great. Good for you. The thing that's really interesting is it's difficult to get followers on Snapchat, right? And that even makes it even more of a compelling platform for people to tell stories, because the people that are following you are authentic, right? You can't, you can't pay people to follow you. I guess you can, right? But there's no platform that makes that easy to do. So the people that are really following you are people that you're leveraging on other social media sites like Twitter and Facebook, and getting them to come to your Snapchat account and to follow you on Snapchat. So building your Snapchat audience is very difficult and takes time and a lot of planning and marketing and so forth. And I think that's where, especially from the hotel industry standpoint, that's where hotels at this point need to start playing around with Snapchat, spending some time and money on putting the resources in place to understand the platform and to get ready for 17 and 18 when this thing totally blows up and it becomes a really cool storytelling opportunity for brands. So that's that's one of the things I really like about Snapchat. Anchor, certainly we'll talk about it on a different episode, but Anchor is also an interesting platform where it's more of a live audio stream podcast type of application. So you love Anchor? Yeah, I've been listening to your waves, I guess they call them, on Q the Brand. I like what you're doing there, so keep it up. And again, I wish I could participate more on these social platforms, but there's only so much time right in the day. And at the end of the day, you can spend all your time on these social platforms and not make any money, right? And you've got to eat, right? So you've got to make money and focus on what's really important. So it's important to understand them and build your audience, but it just takes a lot of resources and time, as we all know. So anyway, that's my rant or discussion for today. Thanks for joining. Please, if you're watching this on the replay, please follow me on Periscope. I do these scopes a few times a week. Again, my name is DJ Valori, and I kind of just share entrepreneurial advice and tidbits that I've learned in the last 15 years in building a multi-million-dollar company. I'll never sell you anything or try to promote anything. I'm just giving out free advice from someone, again, who has the experience. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.